Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Aberystwyth Town in Conversation With. My guest this evening is coming to us all the way from Portugal. It is, of course, Tiago Silva. Tiago, how's things?
Good, mate. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well, mate.
Glad
Thank
to
you very
be
much
here.
for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be a part of this interview and seeing
Good.
you, talking about the time I spent in Aber. So,
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice to hear, and I know there'll be a lot of people watching the interview who have fond memories of you from your time in Aber, not just for the first team, but for the reserves as well, and the university, and from Penryn as well. So I know there'll be a lot of people who are pleased to hear that you've joined us tonight. So thanks very much for taking the time.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
I just want to start by asking how things are with yourself at the moment. What are you up to, and how are you finding life during the pandemic?
Well, I work with at the airport, so the aviation industry it's down on its knees, and we've been struggling. You spend the whole day without. You go to work and there's nothing to do, at the airport. So my life has been work home. That's it. Can basically I can do anything. You can go work out. You can do anything. Just spend your day sitting on the couch and watching TV and eating, and gaining weight, and
I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling.
Yeah. But still, I still managed. I got some workout gear here at home, so I try to keep myself as fit as possible. So
good. And it's Lisbon that you're living in at the moment.
Yes, Lisbon. Yes.
And have you been in Lisbon since you left Aberystwyth, or you moved around a bit in the?
No, I've been in Brussels for a few months because my children live there. Their mother is a Belgian citizen, and they live there with their mother. And I was there for a while, but it's not the country for me. I like sunny places and and good weather. But it was a good experience there. But I'm back to the starting point. So Lisbon is where I belong. It's probably what I'm going to be for a while.
Okay, great. And that's probably a good place to go right back to the start then with this interview and ask what your first memories of being involved with football, and who were your influences growing up?
Well, my father was a footballer, so from the start I had the football gene in me, and I never actually saw him playing. Well, I've seen him playing at least once that I can remember. I was too young back then, and I grew up watching Benfica matches. I was never in the beginning. I wasn't the big fan of just a single team, but then I gained some love. My love grew for Benfica because my father was a Benfica player as well, and so that stuck. So it's Benfica and that's it. So even though they're doing terrible now, it's still you're there for the good times and for the bad times as well. But I remember watching players like João Pinto. Those are the first players I remember: João Pinto, Rui Costa, Fernando Couto, Vitor Bahia. Players that was this the players that won the under-20s World Cup. So those are my first few influences in football. The Portuguese ones, of course.
Yeah, those players that you mentioned there, I can remember that group of players beating England, and I think it was in the Euros in 2000.
Yes,
England were 2-0 up,
Figo,
and then Portugal came back. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Figo, João Pinto, Paulo Sousa. That was a great match. Yeah, that's one to remember forever. Yeah, with Portugal coming down from 2-0. Yeah, great goal from Figo, João Pinto, and then Nuno Gomes scored the winner. Yeah.
Of course, then you had the Euros in Portugal in 2004 as well. Did you manage to get to any games?
No, I didn't. No, but I followed the tournament as everyone else did here. But sadly, it's not a good memory for us, you know, because we lost the final.
Yes.
The country was crying all over. Everybody was crying, and it was a disappointment. But then again, you know, it wasn't our day that day. We won it a few, what was it,
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Nobody, I never thought it would happen, but still, I think the final against France is the best game I've ever watched in my life. You know, that the feelings we had here, like, because everybody was like, okay, France are playing home. I don't really, I didn't see us having that many chances of winning and becoming European champion, and then losing Ronaldo, like, oh god. But then again, we had a joker, like you had, it's like a wild card, like you,
Yes.
you know, put either on first touch, boom, or second touch, scores the goal, and then we held our hearts in our hands till the final minute, and it was a joy for life. Yeah, you know, you'll never forget it. So
brilliant. And even to this day, Portugal is still the reigning European champions until at least this summer.
Exactly. And it's funny because nobody else has been European champion for 5 years. They're only for 4. And then winning what's the other, the Nations League was good.
Yes.
A good memory, but not as good as the other one. But for us the Portuguese, the thing was that France, has always been a destination for Portuguese immigrants, and the French look down on the Portuguese there, people. You know, the Portuguese, you know, because they look like they look at us there like, oh, you came here to clean our toilets, you know, like doing these jobs that they don't want to do it. But beating them at their own place, for the Portuguese immigrants there, it was the best feeling they could have in their lives there, because it was, you know, because they spent months making fun of the French because of that. So it was good. You know, it was really good for everybody.
Brilliant. And you never know, it could happen again this summer.
We'll see. Well, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, you know. So I just like that summer. Nobody was like, because actually I think we only won a game in 90 minutes or something. It was something like, it was terrible, because every match would be like, oh, is it tonight we're coming home? In the end we didn't, but you know, we'll see what's coming. So what will come to us? Yeah. We'll see. Well, I don't have my hopes up, but well, you never know. You never know. Yeah.
So talk me through your first involvement in getting involved with actually playing football. Then, who are your first teams that you actually played for growing up and as a young man?
Well, my first team was like a district team. You know, we had these older guys, and we had like 5 or 6 lads, roughly the same age. So we decided to play this tournament here in Lisbon. You know, just for fun.
Yeah.
And back then I could only play in goal because everybody was. So I was the goalie. And then I started doing good in goal, and then when I turned 13, I joined this team called Casa Pia. It's a local team here. So it's an historic team from Lisbon, and I was doing well up until I went to the senior team, first team, and but then it was a tough period of my life. You know, you're a teenager, you're growing up. You know, you start finding different other things with life, girls, you know, going out drinking. So I got a bit lost for a few years, and then I stopped playing completely, and then when I joined the army, I started playing again. But the thing here, like most of us, when we gather to play football, we play 5-a-side. So, and for me, being as tall as I am, being in goal, a 5-a-side goal, I was like, my head was on the crossbar. Like, I can't play here, you know, you have no room. So I started playing up front, you know, and I started scoring loads of goals. And that's where it started. And I started scoring goals. And then from the army, I went to Abba to university, but it was never on my plans to go there and play football, because everything was new for me. You know, it was my at the time was my girlfriend that told me, "Oh, just join the football club. You know, get to know people," and that's how it started.
Brilliant. So
Yeah.
what year was it that you actually came across to Aberystwyth then and started at Aberystwyth University?
Good question. I think it was around 12 years ago, so I'm not sure. To be honest. But I see my memories on Facebook, and I think it was 12 or 13 years ago, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I did some training with, and I was selected for the fourth team. I was like, "Oh, okay, let's start from the bottom." And I think I never played for the fourth team. First time I played for the third, I scored the first time I touched the ball. Next week I was playing for the second team, and when I realized I was playing for first team, and I was scoring goals every week, and that's the first season. Yeah, that's it.
Are you still in touch with some of the guys who you played with in that Aberystwyth University or UWA as it was then?
Well, every now and then, you know, you comment someone's picture or someone's post on Facebook. You know, we're all grown-ups now, so we all have our lives, and it's hard to do. But I still follow a lot of people on social media, so I can still do what they're about, so what they're doing, what's happening in their lives. Even though that I don't talk to them that often. I can still follow their lives and see what's happening.
Still in contact as such.
Yeah. Social media nowadays, it's like this, you know. Even if you don't know, you can see people's lives, because some people share too much on social media, so you know everything that's going on in their lives, even knowing that you don't talk to them. So that's it. Yeah.
So just on the topic of the uni football team, did you get involved with many socials? The uni football club. Any nights out?
Oh yeah, that was my. Oh, that was a problem for me. I remember, what was his name? The manager. I can't remember his name now. But sometimes he was always telling me, "Don't go out on Friday night. Don't go out on Friday night."
Was it Ken? Was it Ken?
Ken, yeah, Ken March. Yes. Oh God, yeah, Ken March was what a nice man. And he was always saying, "Don't go out on Friday night." I don't know why. The more he would tell me that, the more I would want to go out. And then sometimes I would just get to the what is the Blendall, and I was like, and I would be there late, and it would give me that look. Look at this guy. He was out all night. And then he put me on the bench. But then I would come on and score or assist for a goal or whatever, and help winning the game. And like, why the hell do you do this to me? Why go out Saturday night?
And did you go out Saturday night as well then?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yes, of course I would go out Saturday night as well. Yeah, I should have behaved better, but you know.
You say that, but when you're in Aber, it's such a good night out, isn't it? Sometimes you just can't resist.
Yeah, because you know, it's just it's such a welcoming place, and you're so familiar with everybody. You know, it's being small makes it feeling closer to everybody. You know, and everybody would come to me. Oh, well, let me pay you a drink, but Tiago, legend. I was like, well, I was overwhelmed with that. Like, oh God. And yeah, but I think that made it special. You know, people say, "Oh, Aberystwyth is so far from everything." It was bad in that sense, but it was good in the sense that you could feel welcome. You know,
Yes.
in that town. You know, because I remember going to cities I remember going to Birmingham and Leicester, and you feel like people are so far apart from each other. You know. And I was like, that's so different. Just 3 or 4 hours away from one place to the other. So yeah, I really enjoyed the time I was there.
There's a real sense of community about Aberystwyth
Exactly. Yeah, I think the Welsh people, for me, UK people in general, British people are cold. It's not like here; it's different. But I felt warmer in Wales than in England. I like a year ago. I was in London, just a few months after the pandemic started, and I think it was my first time in London, like actually being there, getting to know the city, and I felt people are so distant from each other, you know. But I didn't feel as good as I felt back in Wales, you know. I know that one day I'm gonna go back to Aberystwyth. People are, oh, hey, that's Tiago. And people still, you know, ask me how I am on social media and all that. So
Yeah, it's a great.
I don't think I'll ever forget them, and I don't think they'll forget me. So,
that's great. That's good to hear. So from the university, you moved actually to the football clubs, actually to the football club, Aberystwyth Town, and you started off playing with the reserves under Emir Jones. And actually, I had
Brains.
I spoke to Brains a few weeks ago, and talked about the reserves winning the League and Cup double that season that you were involved. So
exactly.
How did that move first come about? Then how did you first get noticed by Brains and by the reserve team?
It was actually through Passmore. Passmore told me because your father wanted to talk to me. And you're like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. The Aberystwyth manager wants to talk to you. Okay, so I think he gave your father my number, and at the time, because at the end of the season, the previous season, I had an injury. I suffered an injury in one of my ankles, and I couldn't play. So, and I told him, well, I'm still recovering. Oh no, don't worry, you can do that here. And that's it. That's how it started. Then it started like I knew that because I wasn't experienced that much to play football at that first team level. So I knew, okay, just gonna keep on playing and see where it gets me. And actually, it was a good season. It took me to a good place, you know. I still remember scoring those first goals. My first goal for the first team against Clonethley, I think it was a cup semi-final, I think. Something like that, yeah. I remember playing for the reserves and from the get-go scoring goals. And, you know, even though I wasn't the most technical player, I still, you know, everybody can be a Ronaldo. So, or I have Messi's feet or something. So I had my style of football. So yeah.
One goal that I actually wanted to mention, and we'll go back and talk about the reserves and first team experience as we go through. But one goal that always sticks out in my mind was against Haverfordwest in the League Cup. I don't know if you remember this game, but the team needed to win 6-0 to get through to the next round of the cup.
Yeah. I scored.
I think you got the fourth. Andy Evans then scored the fifth, and then in stoppage time, Stuart Roberts scored the sixth, which was the goal to take the club through to the quarterfinals.
Yes. Oh, how could I forget that? Yes, I remember your father telling me, "Go on, son, just play up front, do whatever you can." And I remember getting a really nasty tackle the first time. I touched the ball and I was like, "Oh God!" And then Fred comes to me. I think it was Fred. Get up, son. We need to score. And then, yes.
Yeah. So from scoring that goal, you made a few more appearances for the first team, but also made a few appearances for the reserve team as well. So who was involved with the reserve team under Brains at that time? Who are the players that stick out in your memory most?
Oof, so many of them. Let me remember. It was Stuart Fraser. Stewie. Names. I remember even Andy Evans sometimes would come and play with us, and even the quick guy, and I'm still playing with him. Jeff Galloway still come and play with us. I'm worse with. I'm really terrible with names. I have their pictures in my head, but I remember Ben as well, the center back. and Llewellyn in goal. And some of them, because they're all named Evans. I remember there was a few of them named Evans. Yeah, I remember them, but names I'm just terrible with that. Yeah, there was so many people playing. I played with so many good players at the time.
Well, I think that's most of the team that you named there. So I don't think you're that bad with names, mate.
Yeah, I just remember everyone was named Evans.
Are there any games for the reserves that stick out in your mind from that time?
I remember one against Beryu. I scored a massive header, probably one of the best goals I've scored. I remember being in the box and running away from my defender, and I jumped so high that I was able to head the ball onto the far post, and I scored. I think we're 1-1 at the moment, but we needed to win. And then I just felt everyone just fell on me like, okay, let's just get off me. I couldn't breathe because everyone was on top of me. And yeah, I remember that one, and I remember like scoring like 4 goals against when a team at once at least. I think it was Knighton, I think at the time, and scoring many goals. I scored so many goals for the reserve. Yeah. Yeah. But that one, yeah, I still remember that one. I still remember the feeling of having the whole team on top of me, and I wanted to stand up and breathe because I couldn't breathe. Get off.
You're at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. And have you got any memories of away trips with the with the first team or the reserves, bus journeys, which seem to be mentioned a few times during these conversations? Any good bus trips for either?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, what I remember is it used to take too long. It used to take too long on the way, either on the way there, on the way back. It take too long, and then they would stop almost everywhere to drink. And like, God, this guy, I want to go home, you know. But I remember the last game when we won the league with the reserve team, coming back from Newtown, and then I remember stopping on every single pub on the way to our. We're never getting home. I remember being drunk as well. Everybody was drunk. Players, parents, supporters, everybody was drunk. I remember that one quite well. Yeah. The other ones was just too long. I remember playing in that Port Madog and all those teams up north and Bangor. It was just too far.
And Newtown's probably the shortest journey home as well, and that one took the longest.
Yes, that took the longest because we stopped on every single pub on the way back. Yeah, I remember that because we were celebrating because it was the last game we won the league, and yeah, that took too long. Yeah, I think probably the longest. No.
So tell us about that actual game at Newtown then, when you did actually win the league and then went on to win the double as well. What are your memories of that game itself?
Well, I remember because we had won the league was won already before that game, so we're just like that celebrating spirit. I remember scoring a goal still, and then I remember complaining to Brains because somebody kicked me in the heel, and it was hurting like hell. Brains put me out. No, just play a bit longer. It's almost over. I remember go back, but my heel was hurting so much, and. Then I remember the ceremony, receiving the trophies. I remember all that, yeah. And the little mug that I don't know what you call that. No, it's not silver mug. That's not silver. But I have all that at home. So yeah.
You've still kept your medals and your trophies from the Abba days to this day. Then
exactly everything. Yes, I keep everything. Newspaper cut and everything. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's my memories for life, and I want to show my kids that one day as well.
Yeah, glad to hear it, mate. Glad to hear it.
No.
So we'll go back. We'll just skip back a bit. I know we're jumping backwards and forwards here a bit. But, you mentioned a goal there against Llanelli, and I can actually remember being away on a tour with the university football team. Around the time that goal actually went in, and we were all chuffed that you scored, because I think I got a text through from probably Tom Crockett or someone something like that, to say, yeah, Abba are winning and Tiago scored the goal. So yeah, talk us through that goal then, because that's obviously one that stands out for you.
Yeah, I remember your father putting some confidence on me, and like, okay, son, you're gonna go on, don't be scared, and do the best you can. And I remember I was having some hard time with the defender, connect with defenders, and I remember that who was it? Someone coming on the hand side, and putting the cross in, and the defender was pulling my shirt, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna pull your shirt as well, and I was able to get ahead of him, and I just remember, heading at the ball and the ball going all the way across to the other side of the goal. Yeah, I remember that. That was my first. That was my first Premier League, the Welsh Premier goal, I think. Yeah, because I had scored already with Aberystwyth against. I think it was something like that. Yeah, but I remember that one because I scored a similar one after in. I think it was in the League Cup or something, or the Welsh Cup against Clonettle as well. Yeah. Where is a similar goal? But that, I don't forget that one.
Was it in front of the Diaz stand as well? Was it?
No. It was on the other side. Yeah.
The other side.
Yeah, the other side.
Yeah. And how did you celebrate that goal then?
I think I was a bit like over the moon, like, oh, I actually scored. It's like, oh, again, for me, it was like winning. I scored in the World Cup final, because it was my first goal, my Welsh Premier goal. I remember telling Passmore, I still need to get a Welsh Premier goal in a league goal, and he told me, okay, there you go, son, there you have your goal. I remember him telling him, yeah. I remember him being subbed, and the announcer saying, "Oh, what's his name?" Because he was him telling me, "Oh, I love saying your name on the speaker because it's like I'm announcing a boxing match." Because it was for me, it feels like I'm announcing like a boxing match because you have this. My name was not the usual one, but yeah, I remember him telling him that coming off when I was subbed. Yeah, I remember him telling him that.
And did you go out for a few drinks that night as well to celebrate?
I think so, probably. Yeah. I went out so many nights, and because that was the schedule, right? Let's say let's call it have a match, go out, have a few drinks, go home, and the other day just be on the sofa for the whole day, just resting. And that was the plan, the agenda. Every single match, yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right, to be honest, for that season, definitely. So at the end of that season, you moved on to Penryn. But have you got any other memories from that 2007-2008 season with the first team in particular that stand out, either on or off the pitch?
Well, I remember. Yes, I remember having a burst at one of our players away at Clonettle, and he was giving me so much crap during the game, and I was like, "You should be supporting me, giving," because I was having a bad game. I think everybody was having a bad game, and he was giving me so much crap, blah, 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 on the pitch, because that when the game ended, no, at halftime in the changing room, I just had an outburst at him, and then your father told me, "Oh, okay, you're gonna stay stay. I'm gonna sub you because I see that you're clearly not in a good. I wasn't having a good moment. I was having a good game, and the guy was having a bad game as well. But I think he was trying to take it out on me. But he told me, no, just stay here. I think we lost that game as well. And then I apologized. I cooled down, and yeah. I remember having that outburst at one of my teammates.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which didn't happen often, I guess.
No, because when you're playing as a team, we all have good days and bad days. But I think when you're having even more than when you're having a good day, the bad days are the ones that you should support your teammates even more. next time will come better. If not this time, you always like that. But that time, the guy was, and I just had too much of it. It happens to everybody. So
yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
mate. So from Aberystwyth town, you moved on to Penryn. You spent a bit of time with Penryn as well. Just talk us through how that move came about and your memories of your time at Penryn.
Well, I remember talking to our manager and telling him, okay, I wanted to play more, but I wasn't that experienced enough to be a first team player. And he told me, okay, if you want to go and have a dig at Penryn, they'll take you in. And, unfortunately, I wasn't there for too long because then I had to come back to Portugal. But still, I still have still played quite a few games with them, and people were friendly as well. Everywhere I went in Aberystwyth, any team I played, I felt really welcome from the start. Everybody quite helpful, and I thank everybody for that. Well, yeah, Passmore helped me a lot. Yeah, Passmore and Fred as well. Fred was a really nice guy. I had a chat with him a few months back.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, Passmore and Andy Evans as well, Luke Sherbs and all that. So I think I had an all-around good relationship with everybody.
Yeah, some really good guys there that you mentioned.
Yeah, really nice guys. Yeah, Barry Morgan as well, and others that I don't remember the names. Yeah.
So
and I had a good relationship with Brains as well. Brains, he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Great guy. He was funny. Yeah. And, I think everybody was involved from club staff and everybody. Yeah. From the what's his name, Kane, right? Donald Kane, the chairman.
Yeah.
From the chairman. Yeah, I remember. I think I spent one Christmas evening at this place with some other students. Yeah, and I think it was my first year there. Yeah, he invited. Well, I got invited through some friend of mine that were close to him, and we spent Christmas Eve with him. No.
So after you left Penryn, you actually you moved away from Aberystwyth. Did you move back to Portugal at that stage, or?
Yes, I came back to Portugal. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And in that case, just talk us through how the football careers continued since then up until the present day.
Well, no, I haven't touched the football in like 3 or 4 years now. Because
Really?
yes, when I came back, I was involved with these 7-a-side tournaments and quite competitive. And somebody called me to play, and I managed to score goals as usual, a lot of goals. And then at some point, I had a health problem, and I had to quit smoking, and I had surgery. Both my lungs, yes. Like in the space of a year, I got surgery in both my lungs. First the left one and then the right. So I quit smoking, and then I started workout, and I gained a lot of weight. And my knees were just couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, so I just stopped playing completely. So all I do now is just go to the gym and work out. So
is everything okay with your lungs now?
Yeah. It's been like what 6 or 7 years now. Everything is fine now. Yeah. Good. But at the time, yeah. Well, in a certain way, it was good because it made me get a healthier way lifestyle, and it just pointed me in another direction. And, sometimes bad things happen for a good reason, and I think that, So I went from being that lanky player, the skinny tall player. Now I'm not skinny anymore. Yeah, and I went from 80 something kilos. Now I weigh almost 110. So it's just I gained a lot of weight. So I even have to be careful sometimes because. So my body weight was too heavy for my knees, and I remember having this tournament that involved some employees from the airport, and I remember At the end of the day, my knees are just no, that's it. I'm over. This I'm retiring from football because my days are over. And these astroturfs don't help. You know, they're too hard on your joints, and I'm not. I wasn't 20 years old anymore, so I just decided to hang up my boots, and that's it.
I think that's a really topical point actually about the AstroTurfs, because the majority of the pitches now in the Welsh Premier are 3G pitches, including Aberystwyth and also Newtown.
Yeah.
You mentioned there, so yeah, it's things have moved on, and I have conversations about this on a regular basis, and opinions really do differ between who you speak to as to whether they like the 3G pitches or not. I mean, I'm quite a traditionalist. I prefer to see football played on grass, and I presume you'd agree on that one. But people who are now used to the 3G pitches and can see the advantages of those as well.
Well, there's some advantage in this case. Like the pitch will be available every week. The grass. Sometimes you couldn't even train on it because not to damage it. But now you can. It's always available. You can have matches and over and over again. But in another aspect, I think, at least in my experience, based on my own experience, I think for my joints, it was terrible. My knees and my ankles is just, and I know that certain there are more people they experience the same. It doesn't happen to everybody, but even at work, some guys that I remember just going for a kick, just have a, how do you call it, kick around.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Kick around, yeah. So yeah. Well, this is I lost I knew all these these little English sayings, but now I'm dealing. As I told, my girlfriend is American, so I got all these American influences, and I forgot.
You have to start calling football soccer now, do you?
Yeah, soccer. So, can I watch the football? What, the football? Football on Portuguese TV. No, it's soccer. You have to tell her soccer because she won't understand. But yeah, and some of those guys at work, they experienced they had the same feedback as me. Some days would go home, even like my lower back and everything. It's like, nah, I had it. I don't even play for fun or anything. I just I can play it with my kids, and that's it. So I'm done. I'm really sorry, but I'm done.
You're officially retired.
Yeah, I'm officially retired. Yeah. Now, if you want to talk about going in the gym and workout, I can give you a lot of tips. That's it. But
that's replaced the football now, is it? Going to the gym?
Exactly. And now I'm even struggling because gyms are closed. So for me, it was like an escape going there. And it helps you a lot, just like with football, kicking the ball around helps you a lot to take the stress out, and some days you have too much in your head to think and you're focused, at the gym when you're playing football, you take your mind away from those things that are troubling or bothering you that day. It helps a lot. And then when you finish, your head is clear and you're ready for another day. But now it's just been terrible. Gym's closed. I have some stuff here to work out here at home, but sometimes not even enough. You get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. So these aren't easy times, So I just try to take my stress out as I can.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's a bit of good news on the horizon, and hopefully we'll be out of lockdown over the next few months. We'll certainly keep our fingers crossed that that's the case over here and in Portugal as well.
Yes. Let's hope so. I think it's just some people don't comply with the rules. I know it's tough for everybody being stuck at home, not being able to do our daily lives as we. I don't think we'll ever will. Well, at least until we do, it's gonna take a while. Until everybody is vaccinated and our immune systems are able to protect us from the virus, everybody. So it's going to take a while. But if we don't, each and every one of us don't do these little things like wearing a mask and avoiding social gatherings and, you know, social distancing, having the social, until we don't do this, or we all do this, we're not going anywhere. So we're not going the same way, you know, people going left, some other, no, it's just, until then, here in Portugal, people, you know, still, I think we had a problem now with during the holiday season, you know, because the government said, okay, it's up to your own judgment, you know, to say how much, to know how many people is enough to have at home for Christmas Eve and all that. And I think after that, we're seeing the aftermath of that, you know, some people just, you know, 20, 30 people in the same house. There you go. You know, instead of just having 10, even knowing that 10 is too much. You know, me and my family, it's just like 8 of us. You know, I know it's sad not being able to be all together, but you know, it's for a greater good. You know, so there'll be more Christmas to come. But then now we're suffering the aftermath of that. Now, you know, we went into confinement again. Everything is closed. You cannot go to the restaurant. You can go to the gym. You can drive around, like, you know, you can be in your you can go around your town, but you cannot go into a different town if you don't live there, or if you don't work there. So it's terrible. It's a terrible period for everybody, but you know, everybody has to do their part. So
have they give you any indication in Portugal as to when the lockdown might be lifted?
Well, I think now it's still the 13th. On the 13th, they're going to review everything. See, but we can feel the cases are dropping. You know, number of cases, number of people, COVID cases and deaths and all, it's dropping. But still, we had a highest number in the last couple of weeks than we had last year around the same time of it. Yes, no, I think people got a bit carried away. You know, oh, we're going back to, you know, we're in the good way, but then here we are back to square one. And, we'll see. And well, yeah, the borders are closed. That's like I told you, at the airport, you look at the flight screens, and you just see flights canceled, and there's a lot of restrictions to fly. They don't even let you fly unless you have a good reason to fly out of the country. If in this case, like in my situation, if I were to go and see my kids, I can go because my kids are Belgian citizens. They have double citizenship. But being a parent, I can go there and see them. But like my mom, she cannot go because being grandmother is not she's not a direct relative to them. So, or if you're going to work, if you have to work to go out for work, they do. But if you don't have a valid reason, they won't let you out. Yeah. So it's tight like that. Yeah.
Let's hope things improve for all of us and soon. So if that is the case, and later on in the year things do improve, what are the chances of seeing you back in Aberystwyth to watch a game?
Well, it's been in my plan for a long time, and even my actual girlfriend, she wants. I want to know where you've been. Well, you always talk so good about this town that I want to visit as well. But I told her, well, let's pray that maybe over the summer we can go there, you know, or even watch that show. There's a show my mom told me that was filmed in Abba. This is what's the name? I've been watching it on Netflix. Interland, yeah, exactly. Yes. I was like, oh my God. And I was watching it with my girl, like, look, I know that place. I know that. Yeah, it's good memories. But good memories back. Yeah. Well.
And are you still keeping in touch with how the football club's getting on and results over recent seasons?
Yeah. I have this app on my phone, and I follow my team here and follow Abba and Silva, all the team, and always get the results there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Can you get
I followed.
You get access to the games that are shown live.
Yeah, I can watch it on with what's his S4C on
Yes.
Sgorio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I follow the page on Facebook. Like sometimes I watch the games. I
Brilliant.
don't understand what they're saying, but I even tell my colleagues, look, if you say, my girlfriend say that, oh, Portuguese, it's, even though that she speaks Spanish, she say, oh, Portuguese is such a hard language. Okay, listen to else.
Well, listen, I've really enjoyed chatting with you tonight, Tiago. It's been great to catch up and
Yeah,
get to know you
yeah,
from
yeah,
Abba. But just
yeah.
to finish off, I just want to go through a few quick fire questions that we do at the end of every interview. So, who was the best player that you played with at Abba?
Fred. Fred was definitely a really nice guy who would make you feel at home and help me a lot through my time there. His experience, he tried to pass on some of the experience he had on the with the game, and make me feel good. And I think it's probably the best player. Not only on the pitch but outside out of the pitch as well. So
Brilliant, good choice, mate. Good choice. Who was the worst trainer at the club?
What you mean when you say the worst trainer? Like like the
who was who didn't perform well in training sessions?
Okay. Well, I don't know, because sometimes I think all of us had these days that we didn't want to practice. Training was like, I don't want to be here, so we just to be honest, I don't have like a name to tell you, like just to name out a single player. I think it's all of us. We had this day that we didn't want to train because it was too cold, or the wind, or the rain, and sometimes even I myself, I don't want to train today. I don't want to go. So we struggle with it. Well, but I can say, well, probably me. I was the worst trainer sometimes.
So, what was your best memory from your time at Aberystwyth Town?
I remember, probably the first goal. What do you mean, playing for the team or for Aberystwyth? Probably the first. Probably scoring their first goal against Cornell. Well, now that you remember me, the one against Aberystwyth West, I forgot that one. I completely forgot. I don't know how I did that, but those two were probably my best moments at Abba. Yes,
Great.
Definitely, yeah.
And do you have a worst memory of your time with the club?
Like I said, sometimes just the away games was just too long to get back. That was something that would bother me a lot back then, because I wanted to go home. It was cold and damp, and I just wanted to go home. But sometimes you would leave in the morning and come back in the end of the day, so it was terrible for me. And then I would have to put up to my girlfriend. I get home, oh, you spent the whole day away, how women are. And yeah, that was probably the worst part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Sum up your time in Aberystwyth in 3 words.
In 3 words, memories for life, definitely.
Brilliant. Yeah, I like
memories for life.
Yeah, I like that. Really good choice.
Yeah.
And from the players that you played with at Abba, can you give me your 5-a-side team?
Yeah, I got it all here. I remember Richie Morgan on goal, right? Fred, Passmore, Barry Morgan, Sherbs, and Andy Evans. I think they were the best I played with. Yeah. The best 5-a-side. Yeah.
That's one. Who's the sub then? Who's the sub out the 6?
It's probably going to be me.
All right,
I'll be on the bench, yeah.
I'll give you that extra one as well.
I'll be the sub, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Listen, Tiago, thanks so much for taking the time and coming.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure for me as well. It's just going back and knowing that people still remember me and being able to share all these moments with you guys and everybody from Abba. And I hope to come back to Abba soon enough. And we'll visit everybody and have a good time and talk about all these things in person with people.
Over a few beers as well.
Exactly, yeah. A few pints, yeah.
I know, and just on behalf of everyone at the club as well, I know there'll be a lot of people who are really pleased that you've done this interview and hearing from you again, because there are a lot of people who do have some really good memories of you and your time at Aberystwyth. So thanks very much, mate, and really good to see you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Opportunity soon to see you in person in Aber as well.
Yeah, we definitely will. As soon as this life goes back to whatever we're gonna call it now, normal, the new norm, whatever, you'll see me in Aber soon enough. Okay.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Tiago. Cheers.
You're welcome.